Hey muñecas, today I'm going to be sharing with you my current routine to cover my super intense dark circles. I know that if you're watching this video, more than likely we have that in common. We have very dark circles. In my case, very hollow eyes as well. They're very deep set. And that's like the one thing that makes me feel super insecure. I really dislike my dark circles. I've gotten used to it a little bit, but nevertheless I prefer to cover them, especially if I'm going out, if I want to look presentable. I don't want to look tired. I don't want my under eye area to make people think that I'm sick. So this is how I cover them. This is my routine. This is how I make sure that no one knows that I have super dark circles. So if you want to know all my secrets to cover my super dark circles, then just keep on watching. The first thing that I like to do whenever I want my under eye area to be super flawless and that you cannot see any trace of my dark circles is use one of these super hydrating eye patches. They're not going to remove your dark circles, so please keep that in mind, but they are going to make the area much more hydrated, softer, smoother. Most of them contain vitamin C, which helps the area wake up a little bit. The ones that I am using today and that I have been loving are from Pixi Beauty, and they are the Detoxified Depuffing eye patches. It comes in this little container. I really recommend them. They're super hydrating. So basically I just apply them for about 10 to 15 minutes prior to doing my makeup. The time that I use to do my eyebrows, the time that I use to remove my mustache, anything that I have to do like prepping wise before makeup, I do it while I'm wearing these. And there they are. Those are my dark circles, my babes. Very hydrated. Right now the area is still wet, so I'm gonna allow the product to sink in for about 2 to 3 minutes. Keep in mind that skin prep is everything. When it comes to under eye area, when it comes to face, foundation, any area that you're going to be applying makeup on, it's gonna look best if you invest a little bit of time on prepping the skin. It still feels a little tacky, and that's okay, so it's drying out. Now, right over that, I'm going to be using my eye cream. I cannot tell you enough how you need an under eye cream. You have to do it. You have to prep your under eyes. You need to give that under eye area that extra moisture, those extra vitamins that it needs. The one that I have been loving is from Origins. It's a Ginzing refreshing eye cream to brighten and depuff, and that is what it looks like. This is one of those products that I buy and rebuy and rebuy, like I on and off, you know. I try other products, but I always end up going back to it. Then now I'm going to be using my moisturizer, and today I'm going to be using also from Pixi Beauty the Phenomenal Gel. This is a beautiful moisturizer. It's kind of like a gel. I love it because it absorbs really quickly into the skin and it hydrates my super dry skin. It's like a drink for my skin. And notice how I applied everything that I was going to apply to my under eye area before doing the moisturizer, just because typically under eye creams tend to absorb better into the skin, so it is recommended that you go in with your under eye products first. To prep the skin, I'm going to be applying this Jaw Beauty Glow Activator Primer. And this is not one that I recommend if you have oily skin. I will only recommend this product if you have dry skin like myself. You know your own skin, so do whatever it takes for your skin to look good. Just try those products. So now we're going to cover the fun part. We're going to start with the makeup and cover these bad boys. Let me not say hate. I don't like using the word hate, but I dislike my under eye area very much, and I'm pretty sure that if you're watching this video, it's because we have that in common. So the first thing that you need to do after prepping your skin is making sure that you use a corrector. Correctors are typically concealers like products that are more on the peachy or orange side. Depending on your complexion, you can go from a very light peachy concealer up to a very dark orange concealer. For me, I typically like anything like peachy but not too light and nothing too orange because it's kind of difficult to cover up later on. If you don't know the purpose of the corrector, go on the internet and look at the color wheel. Basically, you're going to look at opposite sides. If your under eye area is very purplish or bluish, the orange is going to counteract that. There's a lot more to that. I'm going to leave a video that I did a couple of years ago on my other channel where I really go into details as far as what the corrector does and everything else. The darkest that I will go, this is the Maybelline Master Camo Crayon Corrector in the tone 50, which is Apricot. So we're going to be using that right on the area where you have the darkness. And then I'm going to tap that with my fingers. As you can see, my under eye area is not just dark, but also very hollow, very deep set. So on the other eye, just for the sake of using different products and different tones so that you have options, I'm going to be using the LA Girl Pro Conceal HD High Definition Concealer in the tone Peach Corrector. So this is much more lighter than this one over here. Like this is a little bit more orange. This is going to be more like on the peachy side. So once again, I'm going to apply it just on the area. I'm just going to be doing 3 dots. That is dark. We're not highlighting the under eye area, we're correcting. So only where you have darkness. And make sure that you go all the way in here as well, like in the inner corner of the eyes, because we tend to have that area very dark as well. So now I'm going to pat that with my fingers again. So now we have both under eye areas corrected. This one is much darker, a lot more orange, and this one is a little bit lighter, more on the peachy side, but they're both going to counteract the darkness underneath my eyes. So now that we have the under eye area corrected, we're ready for the foundation. Today I'm going to be using my Face Take foundation by Tarte and just apply it like you normally do. Make sure that when you're blending the foundation on the under eye area, you're very careful so that you don't remove the corrector. So you're just bouncing up and down, never dragging. Again, just up and down, bouncing very lightly. We're pretty much blended on both sides, and the under eye area is looking a lot better than it was at the beginning of the video. If you recall, my under eye area looked very, very dark, and I'm more like on a purplish side, and right now it's not perfect. You can still see the hollowness, but the darkness is not peeking through as much. So now I'm going to be applying a concealer that's about 1 to 2 shades lighter than my complexion. You can go as light as like 4 shades lighter than your complexion, but for me, I typically prefer it to be just like 1 or 2 shades lighter than my complexion. And one thing that I can also tell you from experience is that the lighter I go on my concealer, the quicker you're gonna see the darkness. It's not gonna wear as long, and the darkness and the blue tones and the purple undertones tend to come out a little bit more. Today I'm going to be using the Infallible Full Wear Concealer by Loreal, and this is in the tone Amber 385. And I'm going to start right here, like on the inner corner of the eye, and I'm going to be creating that triangular shape that we always see. But doesn't mean that we're applying like a ton of product. I'm just blending it with the same doe-foot applicator. And I do bring it all the way in to the nose here so that it can help me contour. And I'm going to be doing the same thing on the other eye. For my everyday makeup routine, I don't put as much concealer, just to be completely honest. But when I'm going for a full beat that I don't want my under eyes to peek through at all, I do this. So we have now the whole triangular thing situation, and I'm going to be using the same concealer to go and apply a little bit on the center of the forehead just to bring some lightness. I'm going to touch up the bridge of the nose and right here a little bit on the chin. You might be wondering why I'm including this if this is not like a highlight and contour video. It's more how to cover your under eye video, but it balances out the face. If you only cover the under eye area, especially if you use a lighter concealer and you don't highlight anywhere else, it's going to look a little bit off. So that's why I wanted to include it. And then now I'm going to begin with my fingers, just patting that and blending like so. I don't think I ever used this concealer on my channel. I just bought it like 3 weeks ago or so, and it's very good. I'm very impressed by it, so I definitely recommend it. So now that I have the concealer pretty much blended with my fingers, like we just have sharp edges and stuff, I'm gonna go in with the beauty blender or the beauty sponge, and I'm going to make sure that I blend around the edges more than anything, and try not to blend too much here, like over the concealer, because that removes a lot of the coverage and we don't want that. So I try to avoid going in here. I'm mainly just blending on the outer edges. A huge difference from the before and the after, right? It looks a lot brighter. My complexion looks a lot more even, and they're definitely not just the main focus of my face. I'm gonna apply a brighter concealer just for the sake of this video so that you can see how you can make them even brighter. I'm going to be applying a little bit of the Naked Skin by Urban Decay, just like a tad right here, so that I give my face a little bit more dimension and that the under eye area looks brighter. And this time I'm gonna go straight with my fingers. Alright, so that is what it looks like there with a lighter concealer right above it, just to give it a little bit of brightness. And as you can see, I didn't apply too much, I just applied a tad. And it was mainly like right over here, so that it brings forward this part of my eyes, because my eyes are very hollow. So now we're ready to set. I'm going to be mixing two different powders, the Laura Mercier Translucent Setting Powder and the Jeffree Star Banana Setting Powder. The reason why I'm going to be mixing the two is because the Laura Mercier by itself can give me like a white cast. This one, the banana from Jeffree Star, can tend to make my under eye area a little bit like dark, not like super dark, but it will take out the brightness. So now I'm going to be taking my beauty sponge and I'm going to make sure that I don't have any creases before I set, and just apply it directly underneath the eyes. I'm not necessarily baking, I'm just setting using the beauty sponge. I'm not taking too much powder. Again, make sure that you tap so that you remove any creases, and then you set. You can bake if you like, but I don't do that all the time. That is it. That is the final result. That is how I set my under eye area. I'm going to finish off the rest of the face so that you can see how it looks with a full face of makeup. I'll be right back. Alright, muñecas, so the makeup is all complete. This is the final result. That is how my under eye area looks right now after a full beat. And this is how I cover my super intense and deep set dark circles. I really hope that this video was helpful. If it was, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I'm eating here. If you haven't done so already, and hit the notification bell while you're at it so that you don't miss any of my future videos. Thank you so much for watching from the bottom of my heart. See you later. Besitos, and next time. Bye.